Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be covering my income stock portfolio. This is one of three portfolios that I have, and this one I focus on creating income. This is the portfolio that I'm really going to lean on when I decide to retire. I'm not yet retired, but I think if and when I retire, I'd like this portfolio to generate great income, pretty much replace my salary that I currently work for. And one of the goals that I have is never to have the principal go down. I never want to touch the principal. I just want to see great dividend income out of this portfolio. And I want really stable stock values out of this portfolio. This is one of three portfolios that I have. I have a growth portfolio, and that one has a lot of high growth companies. And that one would have, some ups and downs, more ups and downs, but you still could have a down year. I want this, this particular portfolio to be a little more boring, maybe not have such highs as the growth portfolio, but certainly not go down to the depths that I saw. For example, in 2022, the growth portfolio get hit. I also want those dividends to be, really at a good level so that they generate that income that I'm looking for. I'll go through my investing plan, how the intent that I have with the portfolio, some of the needs that I have from the portfolio, and then I'll go over the returns that I've experienced here in the first 3 quarters as well as the trailing 12 months of this portfolio compared to the S&P index as well as the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And then I'll show you every stock that I have in this portfolio, how it's doing year to date, what kind of dividend rate it has, and what I think each stock is discounted. I've recorded a video for every single stock on here, so if you want any depth on any of the stocks that I'm covering, you can look at the channel and then find the video for the stock you're interested in and then watch it, and you can see my opinion on it. Now, keep in mind, I'm just sharing my experience as an individual investor. None of this is investing advice. I'm not recommending you buy any of the stocks that I'm covering. I'm just sharing my experience as an individual investor. I hope you find it interesting. So let's get into it. So the goals for my income portfolio are simple. First, I want to generate high dividend income, but these dividends have to be quality dividend stocks. It's not fly by night, dividend companies that cut their dividend. It's good quality companies that have a consistent dividend. I want a stable stock values so I can see these stocks go up over time. I want good stability, and it comes from high quality companies that are discounted. I happen to believe that you make money in value stocks when you buy them. If you buy them at a discount, they'll end up rising to their appropriate value over time. So I really look for discounted stocks that I could buy that are paying dividends. So what do I need from this income portfolio? First, if when I retire, I'd like this income to really replace my salary. I want stable returns from this portfolio, and I never want to touch the principal. So I never want to sell one share of the stock unless I find that the company is maybe in trouble and I just don't want to own them, or if I think maybe their stock really ran up and I could sell it at a big gain. Those would be drivers to sell a particular stock. But I, wouldn't want to have to sell it just to make an income. That's not the intent here. I would want the dividend income to sustain myself and my wife and be able to really live off the dividends. That's the goal of this stock portfolio. This stock portfolio has done well over the last 12 months as well as the year to date. For the trailing 12 months, which is the first section, the combined return is 33%. We had a great end of 2022, if you recall, and then we've had a pretty good 2023. The combination of those, especially with some of these companies that you'll see, the stocks really ran up, which was good. So a 33% return includes a 24% appreciation on the stocks, dividends of 4.7%, and then a gains that I took of 3.6%. So it's a really good last 12 months coming off of 2022, which was a difficult year for just about everyone. Year to date, just in 2023, the fund is at 18%. So that's really good. If you look at the S&P, it's at 12%. And the Dow is just at an anemic 9%. The year-to-date number is a combination of year-to-date performance, which is quite low, and at least the last 2 months have kind of been brutal on a lot of stocks. But the dividends have been really nice, 5.3%. And I've taken a lot of profits this year just because the run up that really uh, um, happened this year, I started selling off in June, July to take profits. So when I combine the three of year to date returns, dividends, and gains, I get up to the 18.2%. So I'm very happy with the performance of the income stock portfolio. And the way I measure it, the amount of dividends that I'm getting collectively, I'm at probably about 55 to 60% to my goal. So the dividend income can replace right now 55 to 60% of my salary, and I'd like it to be at 100%. So a couple more years of working at this, increasing the capital into this portfolio, watching it grow so that I could replace my salary and I could retire. The companies in the portfolio, uh, I'm going to rank them from the best paying dividend to the smallest dividend in this portfolio. And number one at the top is US Bank. I think the banking industry is really discounted this year. And US Bank is down 26% year to date, but they pay almost a 6% dividend. And I believe they have really good upside. This 67 represents, I believe, the stock's discounted by 67%. Number two is a real good stable REIT, Care Trust, and they pay a 5.5% dividend and they're up 8%. So collectively, if you add the dividend with the increase in value that the stock's seen, I mean, you're beating the S&P index with that stock. So that's really good. Dow is just a solid company, just a really respected company. They pay a 5.4% dividend. VC is another REIT that pays a high dividend. Prudential is a stock that um, is just a really good company. They've been around for a long time, like 100 years, and they pay a 5.3% dividend. And I think they have really nice upside in that stock. Citi, again, banks are heavily discounted right now. They pay over 5.2%, and I think they have good upside. Ford has a 4.8% dividend, and they have a really low PE. I just think Ford's really set to reward investors well. So I'm glad I own that stock. One of the big surprises is healthcare, how it's been beaten up in 2023. And along with healthcare, the collection of beat up stocks is Pfizer. It's down 34% year to date, but it pays a 4.8% dividend. And I think there's 90% upside on Pfizer. So I continue to buy shares in this stock because I'll sit on 5% money, making 5% of my money on a quality company like Pfizer until it rises in value. But that's a company that I'll continue to buy. Hewlett Packard is pays 3.8% dividend, good quality company. CBS is another beaten up stock, pays almost 3.5%, but it has a lot of upside. Future Fuel's a small little company. They pay a 3.45% dividend. They have good growth. Interesting little company. Chevron this year is just doing great. It's appreciated a lot over the last 2, 3 months because oil prices are really high. So they pay a nice 3.4% dividend. And for the last 2 months, has been probably the best performing stock in this portfolio. And that's Chevron. Allstate has great upside, pays 3.2%. Comcast has been a good winner this year, pays a 2.6%. Perdocio is a high growth education company, and they have really high upside, good year to date, and they pay 2.5% discount. ADM is a food company that pay 2.4%. Kroger, 2.36%, really good stable company. CF Industry creates fertilizers for farmers, and they pay almost a 2% dividend. And then Elevance, very low dividend rate, but it's a healthcare company, and it has good stability. So that's the portfolio collectively. Again, any one of these companies, if you search on the channel, you'll be able to see a deeper dive into each one of them. And I'll go through the valuation of each. But you can see that the dividends, especially right now, dividend rates are really good in these value stocks, these really stable, mature value stocks. So just in review, this income stock portfolio, The intent is to have this portfolio generate income. It's not meant to, keep up with the growth portfolio with stocks that are tripling in value over the course of 2 years. It's really just meant to outperform the Dow, outperform the S&P, really reward me with income and have that stability. The growth portfolio I have is bigger than this portfolio. It's probably about 50% bigger, but this one here continues to grow and grow steadily. So I have that in my overall investments. I also have a bond portfolio. It's smaller than this one. It's probably about 50% smaller than this portfolio, and it generates great income, by the way. Bonds are producing just great returns. You can easily get 7, 8, 9% return, interest payments on corporate bonds right now, which is very attractive. So I'm buying into bonds. Next month, I may do a bond portfolio review if time permits. So I hope you found this portfolio review interesting. Would love to hear comments from you on if you're managing an income stock portfolio for yourself, what your goals are, some considerations, some tips that you would offer up to the community of viewers of this channel. That'd be really interesting. And again, just a reminder that I am just an individual investor sharing with you my experience as an investor. Hope you found it interesting, but it's not financial advice, and I'm not recommending you buy any of the companies that I showed. But I hope that you found it interesting. With that, let me wish you the best of success in investing in 2023.